Hello, team, and welcome to our November monthly sales rally. Thank you for taking the time to be with us this month. We've got a great lineup and a lot of updates to bring you. First and foremost, I want to talk about October. We crushed it in October. It was our best October in 5 years. Congratulations to all of you for all of the hard work you put in all year long to make October great. $250 million in funded volume, 594 units. Most importantly, three big wins here is number one, our NPS score for the month, not plus 94. So client experience exceptional all the way through, even with the increase in volume. Number two, it was our biggest concentration of refinance volume all year long. Such a big win. We're serving our past clients. We're creating value through monthly savings and through some cash outs as well for our past clients. So amazing job there. Number three, our cycle time from last October to this October was 3.5 calendar days shorter. So we closed loans faster this October versus last October by 3.5 calendar days. That's a big improvement. So great job across the board. And we're going to take that momentum into November. Next thing, easy to do, easy not to do. And this is just a reminder, November and December, we see this trend every year. People take their foot off the gas, okay? This is the time of the year. We have the holidays, we have vacations, we have different things going on, and people tend to take time off, take time away from their business. And my big thing here is this, is just planting the seed right now that no one regrets doing the things they're supposed to do. They only regret not doing them, okay? And it's really important that we don't let a couple days for Thanksgiving turn into a couple weeks in November, okay? That's a mindset shift that we have to focus on preventing. And the thing I always want to talk to you about when it comes to this, and the reason why I say easy to do, easy not to do from the book, The Slight Edge, is we will find ourselves in January and February kicking ourselves for the work we did not do in November if we don't follow through on the things we're supposed to be doing right now. It is so important, guys. This is the quietest time of the year. This is the time for you to be the loudest. This is where there's the least amount of activity. This is the opportunity for you to be the most active, okay? The opportunities are going to be there for you if you do the things you need to be doing. So just remind yourself, easy to do, easy not to do. It's easy to make your phone calls every Monday. It's easy not to do them, okay? It's easy to go to open house. It's also easy not to do them. It's easy to make sure you're staying on top of your clients and following up through every transaction to make sure you're over communicating them. And it's easy not to do that. These are things that are fundamental to creating clients for life. These are things that are fundamental for converting relationships into referral sources. And these are things that are fundamental to growing our businesses. So easy to do, easy not to do. Keep that in mind. Last thing here before I hand it off, value has no competition, okay? There are three key things, guys, that I keep coming back to that will differentiate you in every single way. And maybe because my son's now a loan officer and I spend a lot of time hearing from him on, how this experience is going on going to open houses and talking to agents and making appointments and agents not showing up and all these different things. And, to me, it gets clearer and clearer what it takes to be exceptional as a loan officer. And it's not some crazy marketing, strategy. It's not all these, bells and whistles. It comes down to three things. Number one, be reliable, okay? Show up when you say you're going to show up. Do the things you say you're going to do. Follow up when you're supposed to follow up. Be reliable, okay? That's a differentiator. The normal people, the majority of the people out there aren't reliable, okay? Number two, over communicate, okay? Make sure when you have a transaction, you're providing over communication throughout that transaction. Don't just let the automated email go out to the client. At the end of the day, call the borrower. Let them know what the appraisal is, what the value is, what's important about the appraisal. Make sure you're following up with them. Did they get the disclosures? Do they have any questions about the disclosures? Make sure you're over communicating every step of the way. Don't be reactive, okay? I get a lot of people that sit there and say, well, the borrowers are hearing about rates come down. I'm going to let them come to me and tell me, that, they saw this versus me proactively going on. Over communicate. Beat them to the punch. Prevent the communication, okay? This is how we generate value, guys. This is how we separate ourselves, by over communicating. And the third one, and to me is the most important one, be consistent. Consistency is everything. The consistent people in our business are the ones that win long term. It's not the person that's the best communicator. It's not the person that can articulate the best message. It's not the person that markets the best. It's the most consistent people, okay? It's doing what you're supposed to be doing every single day of the week. And that's not just in your work, that's in your life, that's with your family, that's in your relationships, that's in every element of what we do, okay? So be reliable, over communicate, and be consistent. You do those three things, believe me when I tell you, you will not have to compete to grow your business. Value has no competition. Those are the three most valuable skills that any loan officer can have. I'm going to hand it off to Jimmy, and I'll be back shortly.
Hey guys, welcome to the Sales Rally. I'm super excited to be here. So just like last time, one of the things that I want to talk about is my morning structure and how I protect my focus. And a lot of that begins with what I do at night. So what I do is before I go to bed, as I'm settling down, spending time, with the wife and kids, what I'll do is I'll go through my phone and look at my calendar for the next day. And I'll make sure that if I've got things I know I need to do, I'll literally put them on my calendar, check this, do this, do this. That way I know what my exact focus is. So I know, because when I get up in the morning, I want to make sure I take care of myself first. And if all of a sudden I've got this rush to email or this rush to firefight, those distractions are going to derail me. And it just doesn't really work very well. And so that's the biggest thing. The other common distractions that I find, and that you're going to find, is as you're doing loans, all of a sudden loan goes off the rail because you didn't collect something correctly. So my suggestion to avoid the common loan distractions is do a better file. Take a complete and accurate 1003. Go through the declarations. Make sure you've got 2 years of job history. Make sure you got all the income correct. Make sure you got all those things with all the pay stubs and documentation you need to get it in. If you complete and send in a great file, very rarely are you going to get something back at 7 o'clock in the morning. My time, say AFR is at 9 and I'm at 7. Very rarely am I going to get some fire that I got to put out because I've solved the distractions. I moved everything out. So it allows me to have a freer morning. I get up, I'm able to go on my walk and work out and do all the things and make sure it's good. So a couple other things I want to talk about is accountability system. So I am my own accountability system. I am my only competition. I get up and look in the mirror and think, man, I was like, these are the things you need to do. You need to attack tempo today. It's your theme day. You got to go hard. You got to do it correctly. You got to make it work. So I really am my accountability system. I use tempo for that. I use my calendar for that. I make sure I check everything that I'm doing and go through it so that I am always in front of it. And then I just judge myself. I look at my tracking. I've got a spreadsheet from all the deals I've done the last 5 or 6 years. I look at how last October was or last November was, and I look at it. And because I'm accountable and because I'm doing tempo and doing the activities, you can see my name up there. I'm not doing 700 and 800 points like some of you guys that are crazy, but I'm still doing consistently 80 to 100 points a day, and I'm doing the work. And in turn, because I'm doing the work, November will be my best month of the year. Because that's what it is. And that's how I hold myself accountable. I take a look and think, here you go, you're doing great. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people get a bunch of loans in the pipeline and sit back, they smile about it. Because I'm very accountable to myself, will think, man, you suck, dude. You need to work harder, which is weird. I know I'm built differently than a lot of people, but it's just really what motivates me. I'm going to be building a house here in a few years and I got to work on saving some money up. So I'm accountable to that. I'm accountable to my wife because she wants certain things in a house. I'm accountable to each and every one of you as a leader to make sure that I am setting the example to go through it. So watching you guys crush it makes me accountable to crush it even harder for me. And so that's a big, big deal. So I want to let you know that because you can get distracted by the little things. Sometimes you get derailed. Meetings come up, issues come up, but I can't emphasize enough to solve your issues so you get rid of distractions. It all starts with you. If you're a loan officer or an LOA for a loan officer, you got to do a better job. You got to package a cleaner file. You got to go through every page of the 1003 and make sure it's lined out. You cannot submit lenders, throw it against the wall in hopes that it sticks. When people complain about operations, which are giant distractions because all of a sudden things come out, it's not really operations' fault to clean up your mess. You got to do a better job up front so that you're not distracted, so that they're not distracted, so we can close loans faster. If you want to close more loans, do a better job up front. Ask the borrower for all the things. Don't be afraid to ask for them. Those are the biggest things that are going to help you, okay? Now, it's early November. Let's talk about finishing strong. Half of your competition in the next 2 or 3 weeks is going to take their foot off the gas and stop working all through Christmas. So if you only do one thing, Make sure you are visible to people. Post daily on social. Get out there. Still make your phone calls. Do the work every single week, even if you take some time off for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's. Do that work so you can have an awesome January, February, March. Right now is the time to build that up because half of your competition, if not more, is going to stop working. So finish strong, work your butts off, look at your theme days, attack tempo. If you're not using tempo, I don't know what you're doing, right? I use it. I track it all. I send out the birthday message. I send out birthday cards. I do all my follow-up. I call my past clients. I'm doing all the work because that's what you succeed with. I mean, you look at the people that are performing better than everybody else, it's because they're doing the work. If you look at the top of the leaderboard, it's because people are doing the work. They're making their phone calls, they're talking to people, and that's how they're going to finish strong. I've had killer months in December. I've done 20 to 30 loans in a December before because I did all the work in October, November to get me there. Now, I know we're past October, but here's what I can implore you. Do the job correctly, do it well, get all your docs, take care of your clients, and push hard. If you're having a lot of loan file issues, do a better job up front so you have less of those so you can go find more of those to do.
Good afternoon, UMortgage. Today we are talking about how do we finish Q4 strong. Holiday season is upon us, and what does that mean? It means buyers, realtors, and us as loan officers tend to take our foot off the gas pedal. So here's one thing that I'm doing to help create a little bit of urgency. In my initial loan consultation and old pre-approvals that I'm kind of requalifying now that rates are a little bit lower, I'm going over what a sneaky time it is to jump into the market. And the reason for it, there's a lot of buyers that took their foot off the gas pedal. They're focused on travel, family, holidays. So as a buyer, you wind up with a small window with a little less competition and some better opportunities. What makes this holiday even better? Rates are down, but the market hasn't seemed to catch up to that yet. That's a setup we all wish for, right? We want lower rates, but we don't want all that competition. Well, we have it right now. And I'm showing the buyers what it means at their price point. You got to show them numbers because you can say it all day, but when you show them those hard numbers, I'm showing them the difference in payment or buying power if they buy now versus if they bought earlier this year when rates were almost a whole point higher. It's smart to get pre-approved now, get positioned to be ready to strike while buying power is up and inventory is still steady. But I always make sure we don't want to seem pushy, right? So it's like, hey, we're on your timeline. We're still about finding the right home, not just any old home. So we're waiting for you to find that right home. But we want to make sure, we're the expert. We got to make sure that they understand what market are they looking at right now. And I'm also making sure that the realtors understand this. We want to be aligned. We want to be saying the same things. And plus, the realtors appreciate when you're going over these types of things and not just some, yeah, here's a pre-approval, go get them, Tiger, right? It's like, no, we're the expert. We're explaining to them what the market looks like from our point of view. And this isn't some BS thing because this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing buyers getting seller's assist. I'm seeing buyers getting inspections. My market's a tough market. We've stayed going over ask, waiving inspections. But right now, we're getting seller's assist. We're getting some deals on homes, and we're getting those inspections. Another thing is that pertains to loan officers as well. LOs are just like the buyers. They take their foot off the gas. They start thinking about the holidays. They start thinking about, oh, Q1's coming soon. It's like, nah, dude, we're getting ready now so we can explode in Q1. That's when we go the hardest because I love when I know other loan officers are taking their foot off the gas. That's when I'm going as hard as possible. So one of the things I make sure, be visible on social media, be at events. Social is the key because that builds that ethos that Renee Rodriguez always talks about. When you're reaching out to a real estate agent or a buyer, it's great if they're seeing you online consistently. It makes that reach out feel a little bit less like a cold call and more like a warm call. I'm also sending text messages on Fridays, letting them know, hey, I'm super excited. You get a buyer this weekend that's ready for a pre-approval to make an offer. I'm your guy. I want them to know that I'm excited when you make that call on the weekend. I'm not one of those LOs that's like, oh, it's Saturday, I don't do pre-approvals. If somebody's making an offer, I'm taking time out of my day, take a look at it, try to get the offer ready. While other LOs are kicking back, we're going all in. Another last thing I'll leave you guys with, one good little line to reach out with the realtors. A lot of realtors, I'm saying this right to realtors, a lot of real estate agents are reevaluating their lender partners right now at the end of the year. Are you open to a quick Zoom call to see how we can support your business? All right, everybody, let's pass it off to my man, Nash Paradise.
Hey team, happy November. Welcome to the monthly sales rally. It's your boy, Nash Paradise, the Loan Wizard. Going to hit you up with some tips and scripts and get you set up for some amazing prospecting here going forward to the end of the year. So what am I here to talk about? Well, it's your prospecting pipeline. Why am I talking about this? Because now is the time. Fourth quarter is key. This is where your growth for next year is going to happen. If you don't believe me, check the numbers. If you don't have your numbers, well, you should go back and look and see when you're closing business, when were those relationships made? We have gone through the numbers. We've done a bunch of year-end reviews. Tyler and I have gone through our personal production, our numbers as well. And guess what? We found a much higher rate of return on new agent relationships made in fourth quarter than any other time of the year. Why? Let's think about it. The amount of time between having a great sales presentation and getting your first lead is directly representative of the likelihood of that relationship continuing. If you have a large gap in that time from that close to getting a lead, they're going to remember you less and less every day, every week that goes by. What happens around this time of year? People are talking about vision. People are casting goals for next year. And that means buyers thinking, who wants to buy a home in 2026? Oh, that's me. I need to talk to an agent. I'm going to go to my sphere. I'm going to reach out to people. Now is the time of year, and especially as we get into first quarter next year, where people are ready to have that conversation to figure out, what does it look like to buy? Does it make sense for me? There are a lot of people going new year, new me over here, and buying a home is going to be part of that plan. So it's a great time to really narrow that gap. Another reason a lot of LOs aren't going out there and being aggressive with new business right now. We're all kind of busy. Rates took a dip there for a little bit. You got Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the holidays and travel, things like that. A lot of LOs will let their prospecting slip. And this is where you need to double down. We're going to fill that gap and have a bunch more meetings and have a lot more activity going forward. So what does it look like? Who do we target? Well, for me, I really like those agents to do between 8 and 20 deals a year. I love looking on Reddit and seeing, oh yeah, they've closed 9 buy sides and 7 different LOs. Dude, that's straight up mac and cheese on Thanksgiving right there. Green bean casserole for you. I don't know. Whatever you're into, that's the good. And I love to identify that. You may have some different groups that you want to identify. It doesn't really matter. You figure out who you want to prospect to and get those lists, get those names, get a plan put together. The who is a lot less important than what you're going to do. And what you're going to be doing is using the scripts. The scripts work. So let's talk about them real quick. You got the opportunity script, followed by the framework script. And then you're going to hit them with that closing on getting the appointment scheduled. Do your sales presentation, do your close. Remember, it doesn't count if you don't close. Well, let's back this up just a little bit here. Is there anything else you can use this time of year? Well, I'll tell you there is something that I do, and it's worked for me. When I'm reaching out to these agents, I like to let them know, hey, I was reviewing my 2025 and looking forward to 2026 and beyond, and I've realized I'm going to need more great partners to hit my goals. And so that's why I'm calling. And just letting them know that part of this call is because you're casting vision for your next year. It's authentic, it's true, and so I do it. So we do it. So you're making these calls, you're getting in front of these people. What do you do then? Well, it goes in tempo. The tempo relationship tracker is absolutely key for this time of year. I need to know, who have I talked to? What kind of touches have I made? Interesting thing, you may notice that my production's kind of baller right now. Did 15 deals last month, 12 the month before. I mean, even Tyler Hodgson tied me this month in production. Don't look at volume because, it is what it is. But hey, 15 is there. I ain't been doing that for a while. It's been a long time since I've hit those numbers. What did I do differently? UMortgage madness. Started doing all the activities. Started going and logging. I started showing up to open houses. I started doing the things that grow your business. And what happened 6 months later? Well, my business tripled. It's no secret. It takes a while. One of the big deals I closed last month, I was looking back, I made 13 touches on that agent between the time I walked into her open house randomly to score points and, beat Matt Gouget in Mortgage Madness to where I got that contract. 13 touches. You can have a great script, great sales presentation, a great close, but if you're not staying on the follow-up, you're going to fail. You're going to put all that work in and not get the results. So don't forget, when you're making all these touches and you're doing all this, you got to have a way to follow up. You need to be using your tempo tracker, go through the relationship tracker, know what you're doing. Those touches are what's going to equal your 2026 success. So use that, take it, go out and crush it. Thanks, guys.
Hey everyone, this is Trevor Tannehill here out of our Kansas City branch. It is so great to be with you on my first sales rally here. And just thank you so much for having me. Today, we're going to talk about how to deliver 1+ experiences with your borrowers and your real estate agent partners. This is such an important topic, and I was so excited to be able to chat about this because I'm coming off a record-breaking month in my business, and that didn't just happen by chance. And so I want to talk to you today about a couple of different points to help you in your business go out and secure more business and more leads. And when you do get those, how do you stand out? How do you differentiate yourself with your real estate agent partners? And so that's what we're going to cover today. So, number one, I cannot stress this enough, being available. There are so many times and instances where I've gotten a call late at night or on the weekend with a scenario that a borrower wanted to have updated. They wanted some numbers run on a Friday night, pre-approval to be sent over on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And that has truly helped my business, is not shutting down at 5 o'clock and responding to those messages the next day. You got to be available in this business. I know it can be challenging. We all have families. We all have, lives that we want to go live after work. But when that realtor contacts you and say, hey, we're submitting an offer, we need to get this in, be available. Show them that you're willing to go the extra mile. We had an offer on the 4th of July. Go in. A realtor called me. I was by the pool and, I was enjoying an alcoholic beverage, and it was a holiday, but I still took that call. That realtor was working, so I'm working. We ended up getting that offer accepted because of me being available to help facilitate that transaction. So that's number one. Number two, a way that I stand out and differentiate myself is I create a custom closing disclosure video when we have those final numbers. So we get those final numbers from the title rep or the lender, and the numbers are all balanced and good to go. I create a 10-minute Loom video recording that walks them through their final numbers, and I let them know, hey, I disclosed to you, let's just say $10,000, but I promised you that we were going to come in less than that number. And so I walk them through all their numbers, show them why we got to where we're at, because at closing day, I want them to sign those papers and get on out of there. I don't want them to have any questions about the numbers. So that is one additional thing that I do that's a little bit different that I get great reviews on, is providing that custom closing disclosure video to walk them through the numbers and ask if they have additional questions. And then lastly, do not sleep on Tuesday status update calls. These are so important. If the realtor is reaching out to you for an update, you need to set those expectations better and let them know that every Tuesday you will contact them and let them know what's going on with the loan, how we're progressing, and if you're on track, any hiccups, things like that. So realtors appreciate this, and do not sleep on listing agents. Those are a hidden gem. Go out, get that coffee appointment with that listing agent. If you do a good job and set that stage up front, let that listing agent know, hey, if I do a good job and I communicate throughout the entire transaction, would you be open to having a cup of coffee with me and meeting with me after this? 99% of them say yes, because they think you're not going to follow through. So simply follow through, do your Tuesday update calls. It's an easy win to differentiate yourself. So that's all I've got. Hopefully this was helpful. Let's go win. And I'm going to pass this over to Sean with Tempo.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen of UMortgage? I am back in my little bubble inside Tempo for the third monthly sales rally in a row to bring you the third feature release in a row. And I am excited about this one. But you know who's more excited about this one? That's right. It's you. You have been asking me, begging me, threatening me to finally bring you notes inside of Tempo. And guess what? They are here. We wanted to wait until they were perfect, and they're pretty dang close to perfect. So I'm excited to show you. Let's jump in. Let's say that in your day today, you are reaching out to referral partner prospects, and you want to reach out to the wonderful, the one and only Ashton Hamby, because she's a real estate agent who said she might send you business. Now, it's been a while and you've remembered to call her. That's good, but you don't remember everything there is to know about her. So you're going to put this in your call log and you're going to review your notes about her first. You've got your notes that you've entered manually here, and you've also got a little summary up here that's helpful. You work with Ashton Hamby, a referral partner who primarily lists high dollar properties and works with high balance / jumbo clients. She'd like to send you buyer referrals, but doesn't encounter buyers often. And she enjoys sushi and fancy pour over coffee. That should inform the topic of your call. This is just a check-in call. Ring, ring. You call her. Everything sounds great. Ashton scheduled a meeting with me for 11:05. We'll go to the fancy coffee spot on Broad Street. And we'll just go ahead and hit continue there. Obviously, we have a meeting scheduled, 10 points in BD, and that will log our activity, and it will also log our note. You can check out the new note and new summary. Actually, to be honest, it should have loaded right there, and it will once this gets to you. But you'll see here, you've got a phone call, a note, and your AI generated summary will now show you have a meeting with Ashton on 11/5. We are trying to bubble up the most important insights from your notes, which you should read in full, into the AI summary in case you don't have time to read all of your super detailed notes in full. Let's move on to what if you're not recording an activity and you just have a thought about somebody. You're sat at home, it's 9:30, you're watching K-pop Demon Hunters, and you're like, oh, wait, that deal with Hilo, I should really look into the Home Possible guidelines because I'm not sure how it works with a non-borrowing co-borrower. So you could just say, look into Home Possible with non-borrowing or non-occupant co-borrower. I've been out of the game too long. Occupant co-borrower. You can just log this note without logging an activity alongside it, and you'll see the note pop up. You'll get a new AI summary, and this is forever logged in memoriam with your contact Hilo Grapevine. Now, say you wanted to review that note the next day because you can't remember what you wrote at 9:30 while watching K-pop Demon Hunters. You can just go to your activity log. Notes will be logged right there. You can see the single note, or you can see the full history of the notes there. Now, what about when you're working a lead from a lead tracker or directly in the My Referral Partners? To review and log new notes, you can, from here, log a phone call, add a note, and say something along the lines of great conversation, still waiting on WVOE, wants to put offers in as soon as this weekend. You'll hit continue. You'll say that you had a conversation, and your new note will populate to Kona. You'll see that you're just waiting on WVOE right here. You'll see the AI summary, and voila, you have notes. Let me preempt your question about does this integrate with Arrive? The answer is no, not yet. That's something that is on the roadmap. Really looking forward to getting access to Arrive notes so that they can sync backwards and forwards. You should treat these notes as like your sales and personal notes, not necessarily loan notes, but like what is moving people through the pipeline? What are the obstacles? What are the interests of your buyers and referral partners? I highly, highly recommend being as specific as possible, not just about like the sales process, but like about who the person is, what they like, what are some things you can bring up on the next call to remind the person, hey, I was listening, I care about this relationship, and I am going to be your loan officer for life, not just for this transaction. Really excited to bring you guys notes. Can't wait to hear what you think about it. Can't wait to see the first notes come pouring in, and looking forward to bringing you guys more fun stuff this year.
Hey team, it's hard to believe that it is already time for another sales rally. Unfortunately, my turkey costume didn't make it in time, but there is always hope for the December sales rally. Since we are a numbers first organization, let's start with the numbers. We closed and funded 594 loans in October, and I have some very exciting stats to share. Our turn times improved yet again. We averaged 16.17 calendar days from disclosure signed to clear to close. We averaged 12.43 calendar days from initial underwriting approval to clear to close. And that's without excluding any of our long running construction loans that tend to linger a little bit longer. And we also received some incredible feedback from our lender partners. On average, our files had 2 fewer conditions than our competitors. We received clear to close on average 5.4 days faster than our competitors. And our lender partners reported spending 300 fewer hours per month working on our loans compared to our competitors. And all of that is a direct result of the processes, systems, and the hard work that our operations team implemented in September, which really paid off for us in October. And now here is what we have rolled out since then that's setting us up for an even stronger November. A priorities of work queue for our processing team. This new system gives processors a daily list of loans to work proactively before breaching any sort of service level agreements. So it's adding visibility, it helps identify where support is needed, and it ensures that we stay ahead of the curve. We also built a centralized library for common loan condition language so that processors no longer need to write their own explanations or rely on underwriter language. And this saves time, it improves clarity for clients, and it reduces the back and forth communication when gathering the documents. And looking ahead, our operations team is revamping the closing process, not just from an internal side, but also from the lens of sales. Our goal is to provide better transparency, visibility, and communication earlier in the process for you as the LO and by extension for your agents, title, and borrowers. And one last thing before I wrap up, the biggest opportunity that we see coming out of October to make both the client and the operations experience smoother is ensuring an accurate and complete 1003, not just for the sake of making sure that all of the boxes are filled in, but to make sure that it truly reflects the borrower's scenario. Think of it like measure twice, cut once. No one wants to start over halfway through building the house. So whether it's a refi or a purchase, please make sure that your 1003 tells the right story and that the documentation supports it. That's all for me. Happy November, and I'll talk to you soon.
Great monthly sales rally. Thank all of you for being part of it. Last call to action. This is a very important call to action, guys. And we come to this time of the year, and sometimes this is something that we let slip to the last minute. It's licensing renewal season, okay? Last year, we had a bunch of people wait to the very last moment of the year to get their continued education done and get the renewals submitted. And as a result of it, we went into January, went into mid-January with some people still hadn't had their licenses activated for the new year because of this, okay? Those are people that waited way too long, okay? You know who you are. Can't have that happen, okay? It's so important. This is what we do for a living. We're loan officers, okay? We originate mortgages. The basics that we need to make sure we're doing just to maintain our professional licenses is continued education and submitting our renewals. It is so important, guys. We can't let this get past November, okay? To me, like the middle of November needs to be the cutoff, okay? We're dealing with state agencies that are understaffed, that are very slow. We have hundreds of thousands of renewals coming in within this 30-day period of time for every single agency in the country. It is so important we're being proactive. And more than anything, our licensing team can only do so much. So my call to action, prioritize this, knock it out, get it behind you, get renewed, and get focused on business. Thank you all for being part of our monthly sales rally. Have a great rest of the day and see you guys soon.